Welcome. So we meet again. It is I, your boy. I forgot it. Taylor. It is I, your boy. Love God. Today, we will be facing down quite the dangerous enemy. Today, we will be discussing fighting games, but not just any fighting game. The best fighting games. If you've happened to see my previous video, you'll know I primarily enjoy fighting games. If you haven't seen my last video, link in the description. I love fighting games, most likely because growing up I was interested and introduced to things such as karate, boxing, and martial arts.
How do you like that? Bitch!
I'm really a peaceful person, but I do have a competitive spirit. This is why you'll often hear me discussing things such as competing in, commentating in, or hosting my own fighting game tournaments. Now, when I say I play fighting games, I play a lot of fighting games. First, probably introduced to fighting games just messing around on my friend's couch playing Smash Bros. You know how that goes. Everybody's enjoying things, nothing's too competitive, we're just having fun, you know. From there will be sparked the first embers of my competitive spirit, and I knew I really enjoy fighting games. I would go on to play things such as all the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games as they came out, including the old Ninja Storm games on PSP, Pokken Tournament, and My Heroes 1 Justice 2. Those don't exactly count as actual fighting games. They're what we like to call as anime arena games. And anime arena games don't exactly have the best reputation within the FGC community for being balanced or competitively viable. These are all very good games, but not exactly what I recommend if you're looking to be somewhat of a serious fighting gamer. As I did, eventually, I wanted to be a serious fighting gamer. I wanted to go to tournaments and I wanted to win these tournaments. I got so serious about fighting game, I even considered buying an arcade stick, which I love. I even eventually decided to upgrade my arcade stick and bought a second one with higher quality parts and custom artwork. Oh yeah.
Gonna get crunk. Abraz on.
Like, I'm serious. I'm super serial. Like Man Bear Pig cereal.
I am super duper serial.
Like dead ass, dead ass.
My name is Deadass Pete. Fuck is you talking about?
The first fighting game I really got serious with was Street Fighter V, and boy was that an experience. I must say, I did enjoy my time, but there were certain aspects about it that just weren't suited to my style of play, I'll say. I also eventually got into Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'm a big Dragon Ball fan personally. I grew up with the series. The anime was always on TV and I watched it as it came out, and I still watch Dragon Ball Super to this day, honestly.
This can't be happening.
I am the Prince of all Saiyans once again.
So of course you gave me a Dragon Ball fighting game, as they've given us for years. And you give me one that's fairly balanced and competitively viable. Of course I'm going to play it. Although I still enjoy it from time to time, it just quite wasn't that main game I was looking for. Again, me not really being a huge fan of projectiles, as well as not a huge fan of team fighters. I'm more of a One-on-one, you and me.
F is for friends who juiced up together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere and anytime at all. Down here in the
MI.GZ.
After having personally played most of the mainstream fighting games there are to offer, except for the one fighting game I actually haven't tried, but I do enjoy watching sometimes, is Mortal Kombat. The story does seem very interesting to me, and I may try it at some point in the future.
I am Kronika, Keeper of Time. I guide the destiny of the realms. But my work's perfection has been tainted by Raiden's actions. I enlist all those who disdain the current course of history. By merging past and present, we may draw upon allies from both eras. I offer a greater empire in the new era. Will your Outworld armies defend it?
But I must say, some of those scenes are a little bit too gory for me. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean about Mortal Kombat. Cool game. I even enjoy watching the tournament sometimes, just not my style. From there, I knew I had to find the fighting game for me. Like, if you're a fighting gamer, you probably know that feeling of like finding that fighting game for you, because there's so many and they're all so different. This is not clickbait. I will be choosing a best fighting game. But please, please, please remember, this is heavily opinionated. This is my opinion of the best fighting game. Boy, remember, heavily opinionated. Eventually, after months of my brother trying to convince me to play it, I decided to pick up Tekken 7. This does not mean I think Tekken is the best fighting game, hands down. Now, I say he had to convince me because I was always fully aware of Tekken as a fighting game. Like, I have very vague memories of playing characters like a lizard, boxing kangaroo. I always like the weird ones, or the guy who did capoeira. I studied capoeira for a bit, so he was really interesting. But I always knew Tekken was one of the most difficult fighting games. Eventually, I said, why not? Tekken seems like it's less projectile oriented.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
Except for a few exceptions, and even other people in the community honestly somewhat dislike these things within the game as well. So catch this. This is my younger brother, but he's been playing this game for about a year or two longer than me. And we also play all the games that we play together. There will probably be an entire series of our rivalry, but at first you'll see videos of him beating me down until I learn this game. But that's the way it goes. Learn in the fire. The fighting game way. And every time you get your ass beat in that fighting game, you get up and you learn a lesson. You eventually beat his. Now, when I decided to dive in this, let me tell you, I took my motherfucking time. I went in the lab for about 3 days with the first character I chose, Lucky Chloe.
Hi! Lucky Chloe だよ.
Let me say, Lucky Chloe looked so fun. Like, I personally really enjoy dancing, and if you haven't already noticed, I've got quite the personality. She was also recommended to me as one of the easier beginner characters that does a lot of damage and isn't too hard to pick up. And after picking up, I almost immediately fell in love at first. I love her dance style, and I love that she's just really having fun. She even has this certain move that I really love to use that I call the boogie down. Forget what the move's actual name is. That move is called the boogie down, and I love it. And I use it a lot. Block all the hits. Tekken is somewhat in its own lane of games, I feel. It adds certain aspects that other fighting games don't already have, such as 3D movement, meaning in a fighting game, you usually have the option of moving forward or backwards, crouching or jumping. In Tekken, it adds one more dimension to that, being sidestepping. And the simple aspect of sidestepping makes the whole game different. Shit can get really crazy off of a sidestep. Not only that, but you'll find most other fighting games only have attack inputs on the 4 cardinal directions, such as forward punch, crouching kick, jumping kick, or vice versa. But once again, Tekken has a few additional features you won't find in other fighting games, such as diagonal attack inputs. Some characters have inputs like up forward punch, up back kick, down back kick, down forward punch, and a variety of other button combinations.
Wait a minute.
Is this easy mode?
One more thing you'll find Tekken does a bit differently than other fighting games is, in most fighting games, when on defense, you have the option of either stand blocking or crouch blocking. Standing block blocks anything that's high or comes over your head. Crouching usually blocks anything from standing as well as below. Overheads tend to be reactable upon seeing them. This meaning, if you see an overhead coming, you usually have time to react and block. So you'll find the general strategy is to crouch block everything that's coming at you and react to overheads as they come. This strategy does not work in Tekken. I learned this the hard way. Tekken has not only high and low attack, but what you call mid attack. And if you are crouching and you are hit by a mid attack, you will be hit by that attack. It will not be blocked. And there are some really dangerous mids out there, so you have to be very careful about the attacks you choose to either duck or crouch block. Brought to my attention recently was the thought that in Tekken, the lows are what you would consider the overheads in other games, which makes sense. You generally want to block high and react to lows as you see them. There's some very light lows that can just poke you and be annoying, and there are some devastating lows that can lead to severe damage.
Nice.
This just adds another layer of thinking while fighting, which also raises the skill cap just a little bit more. And I love that high skill ceiling. The level of skill it takes to truly be good at that game. Watching the tournament sometimes is exhilarating, to say the least. I did get into Tekken 7 a bit late in the game. Around season 3's end, season 4 was just beginning. After a while, I'm not gonna lie, Lucky Chloe began to get on even my nerves. And I could see her weaknesses for what they were, such as if it was your first time fighting against her, you might have a very difficult time.
Now that's a lot of damage.
But if you fought her before and you have the knowledge of how to fight her, there's not many dangerous things she can do without putting herself in danger.
This man power crush.
But she was a simple character and I could get away with a lot because honestly there's not that many people that play the character, so you don't see her very often. Therefore people don't have the knowledge of how to fight her, and I can do weird stuff and get away with it. But with that said, obviously I had some thoughts about finding a new character to play, a better character to play. I personally think it was Tekken that helped me find the kind of fighting game characters that I generally enjoy, because as you'll find, most fighting games have what we call archetypes, those being categories such as mix-up characters, pressure characters, grappler characters.
What the fuck, bro? Fuck off me.
Hey, yo.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Zoning characters that play from long range.
And you're not really fine, so you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And a large variety of characters that don't fit into any archetypes or fit into multiple archetypes at the same time. After trying a few different characters, I've found that personally I enjoy playing characters of the rush down and pressure archetype with a side of mix up.
It's time to add some extra flavor. I'm adding cheese.
Of course my choice landed on Ling Xiaoyu. I'm not gonna lie to you. I heard initially that people really don't like fighting against Xiaoyu. And I'm also not gonna lie to you. I can see why. Wow. Chill out, bro. Yo, the wall splat. Son, clip it.
John C.
Oh, buddy. We getting clips all day. It's a clip stream. We got our first no rematch today. Nobody likes fighting Xiaoyu, bro. That was some bullshit. I went into AOP and I said,
personally, I think she's super fun to play. I understand it can be very frustrating fighting a character that you have no idea what she's doing. I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes, but it's super fun.
Ooh. Yikes.
That should not have hit, but whatever, I'll take it. And oftentimes I won't even get rematches. Like,
I like it, Koji.
the setup.
Stupid.
oh my God. I gotta fight him again, bro. I was just thinking about it, bro. It's a rank up match, bro. I gotta fight him again. Unless you don't want to fight me again, then fuck it. Honestly. Look, bro, I don't learn from them. They learn from me, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. She does have what I like to refer to as Xiaoyu bullshit. Got him. Get bodied in the corner. Show out, yo. Hey, yo, clip that, clip that. I don't even know what the title is. Get bodied in the corner? I don't know. That was a weird setup, but that was really dirty. That was honestly some bullshit. There's nothing else literally I could say. It's not like she's like top tier. She's just a really weird character. And bruh, do I really enjoy it. She's who I've been playing lately, but there are a few other characters I'm eyeing to learn soon. You'll often find me playing it on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ILoveGod. A link in the description. If you don't already know, we usually play fighting games Monday and Wednesday night. You catch us then. As well as soon I'll be posting highlight videos with a bit of a meme mix on them, of course. You know how I do. Although it is a bit of an older game, it's still one of my favorites and what I find as one of the best, if not the best, fighting games of its kind currently, even with all of these games that I play and I enjoy. I only started content creating almost a year now. It'll be a year, and these fighting games that are currently out have been out for 4 or 5 years, if not longer, so their current players and content creators are established and have massive amounts of knowledge that I have to learn. It doesn't exactly leave a lot of space for growth in such oversaturated conditions, as well as the games already being close to, if not already, in the end of their careers. Dragon Ball FighterZ has most likely released its last character. Tekken 7 has most likely released its last character. What is a fighting game content creator to do? What will become of me? Where do I belong? Am I forever destined to live in a world of shitty netcode and broken characters? And thus, upon the horizon, a great light doth glow. Is that you? A new game. A flashy style. Decently diverse rosters. Just beginning its career, soon releasing to a PC or console near you.
Body's bullshit blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If the word kill me, I don't need a new word under you. Soon you will know. We already know the smell of the
Guilty Gear Strive. You will catch me maining this game. I recently got to test the beta and this game is so cool. The art styles, the fighting styles, the lore. I love lore. After testing it for myself, super dope game. Online feels amazing. Setting new standards for online fighting games everywhere with this internet. Yeah, I said it. I believe in it. I believe in this game. This does not mean that I think Guilty Gear is the best fighting game. Now, I know why we're all here. It's for us to decide what is the best fighting game. This does not mean I think Tekken is the best fighting game hands down or Guilty Gear is the best fighting game overall. If anything, I personally feel like Tekken is currently in its own lane as a 3D fighting game, and 2D fighting games are different completely, but I feel like Guilty Gear is our most hopeful prospect currently for fighting games in general with its rollback netcode and the steady connection. It feels great. Like after playing it, it feels amazing. I'm all over this game. I'll be making meme compilations as well as character and matchup guides. Look out for those. Characters I was interested in were Giovanna and Ramlethal. These characters seem super cool to me, and Gio is obviously my rushdown pressure playstyle. So much fun. Ramlethal is just different, honestly. That's another discussion entirely. I actually bought a couple of old Guilty Gear games to get ready for Strive. Rev looked cool, but the netcode was kind of bad.
Oh! Son of the damage, where did my life go?
It's not over yet.
Honestly, the characters I enjoy playing that they don't have released yet are Jam and Baiken. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be DLC. I'm calling it right now. You heard it from your boy. I also got Accent Core, which is a PS2 game, but they used it to test rollback netcode before giving it to Strive. So it has rollback netcode and people are playing it. For Strive, I actually felt like it was a good way to learn the basics of the Guilty Gear system because it's different with things like Roman cancels, burst meter, and Guilty Gear has different attack annotations than other fighting games, which are 1, 2, 3, and 4, or light, medium, heavy, and super, but Guilty Gears are punch, kick, slash, heavy slash, dust?
Dust attack, an overhead attack performed using the same command for all characters. You can use this to hit an opponent who is crouch blocking. This attack becomes stronger if you hold down the D button, and you can follow up on it by launching the opponent if you input up after it hits.
It's honestly amazing. With it being a new game, we'll all be generally starting with the same amount of knowledge, except for, of course, older Guilty Gear players who have somewhat of an understanding of the game's mechanics already. Hopefully we can all come together and learn as a community, sharing information with each other as we go to make each other better. I'll immediately be trying to learn as much matchup knowledge as possible and be making guides on what I know versus each character, so look for those. This game drops in June. Till then, you'll most likely catch me playing Tekken. I recently took part in their open beta on console. I'll be posting some matches that I took part in, so look for that soon. Till then, I'm still a fighting gamer, so catch me playing all the fighting games I enjoy on Twitch at twitch.tv/AILoveGod, where we play fighting games every Monday and Wednesday night, as well as RPGs on Saturday night. Link in the description, of course. Feel free to hop in our Discord server where you'll usually find us playing together or practicing like we do in every game. You're welcome to join us. Link in the description, of course. Once again, I appreciate y'all time. For future fighting game content, or if you happen to enjoy yourself, feel free to leave a like or subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, as well as comment or share. Every little bit really does help this channel grow, and I appreciate it. Till the next video, love and peace. Did I just one-shot that?